professional sports team is often made up of a close-knit group of individuals. But inside this community persists a problem for some who don't feel like they can truly be themselves. One local team is working to change that culture by taking unprecedented action in the name of equality. Here's Ben with more.
An athlete ally is any person, regardless of sexual orientation or gender identity, who takes a stand against homophobia and transphobia in sports and brings the message of respect, inclusion, and equality to their athletic community. Athlete allies include competitive and recreational athletes, as well as coaches, parents, teachers, league officials, sports fans, and other sports participants and advocates. After learning about this movement, Nick Rogers, the president of Minnesota United FC, decided to approach his team about becoming athlete allies.
I first brought it to the coaching staff. I first went to Manny Lagos, our head coach, and I told him about the organization, and he was enthusiastic from the get-go. So in terms of bringing it to the players, you know, one of our assistant coaches is actually one of our players on our roster, a guy named Kevin Friedland. So Kevin was, you know, a great conduit really to be in the locker room and approach the guys with this. I wasn't part of those initial conversations. And part of that was I didn't want, it's a fine balance here, but we really didn't want this to be, you know, pressure from the front office to do this. I understand that not everybody feels the same way about these issues, and we want to make sure that our guys are comfortable playing for us first and foremost, you know, and we didn't want anybody to feel uncomfortable or like they were going to suffer some negative consequence if they didn't take a leadership role in this kind of, on this issue.
One longtime barrier to inclusiveness in the sports community has been the fear amongst gay and straight athletes alike of how an openly gay athlete would be received in the locker room. This discussion came up when Nick was speaking with one of his players.
One of our guys who's one of the allies, there wasn't a conversation originally where, you know, it came up and it was, well, you know, I obviously, he says, I have no problem with gay people. You know, gay people are great, and we love to have a gay teammate if he's good enough to play with us. But like, you know, the shower thing is a little weird, and we talked about that. And I think that's an issue that, that's a real issue, I think, that athletes think about and say, well, playing with them is one thing, but showering with, that's a little different, right? And we talked about it, and I said, look, you know, the reality is, if you're a pro athlete, you're going to shower with gay teammates. That's just the reality. And you need to think about whether forcing that person to keep that part of their identity hidden is going to help you in any way deal with whatever your anxiety is around that. And we talked about it, and he said, yeah, you're right.
12 members of Minnesota United have stepped up and signed on as an ally, and Nick knows that the rest of the team is supportive as well.
We're not trying to push it on guys who don't want to be leaders in this area. Not everybody has to be a leader on every issue. We get that. And just because a guy, by the way, didn't make the Athlete Ally Pledge, I hope that nobody interprets that negatively and says, well, he obviously doesn't support gay rights. That's not the case. I mean, it's not fair to expect everybody to take a leadership role on every single issue out there.
The club will have Athlete Ally signage at their games and will be promoting the Athlete Ally organization. The players and coaches who have signed the Athlete Ally Pledge will also work to raise awareness through social media.
You'll probably see these guys maybe tweeting or posting on Facebook a little bit about the organization and their affiliation with it, you know, and talking about it in interviews when we have the opportunity to have them interviewed by the media. Just generally raising the profile of what they're doing, the organization they're affiliated with now, and you know, I think that's kind of what the expectation is going to be.
This statement in mass by so many members of the United's organization is a first of its kind on this issue.
I'm not aware of any other pro sports team in anywhere doing what we're doing right now. We're having the number of players affiliate with Athlete Ally, or any similar organization that like we've done here this week.
And while Nick is excited to take this step, he looks forward to the day when this type of behavior is the norm in the sporting community.
We're just excited to be part of this growing chorus of voices who are saying, you know, gay and transgendered people need to be treated just the same as everybody else. And it shouldn't be headline news to say equality for everybody. And you know, but sports can be powerful, and I'm really excited to be a part of this. I think we're at an interesting moment in time right now.
For North Metro TV News, Ben Hale reporting.
To learn more about Athlete Ally or Minnesota United FC, visit our website, northmetrotv.com, and click on NMTV News. There we'll have information on both organizations and a look at the United's upcoming schedule of games.